Let me tell you the tale of Lina Mareth, a half-elf cleric of the Tempest domain. She was a figure often found upon the drifting decks and fog-choked docks of Driftrow, where her prayers calmed the howling gales, and her fingers, steady as the storm's eye, guided weary sailors safely home. Yet, woven through the currents of her dreams was a sea-swept lullaby, haunting her through waking and sleeping hours alike, an echo of a memory she could not grasp. In the River Kingdom of Taldren, where the floating bazaars of Mareth sat shimmering under veils of mist, and the coral-laced halls of the Sunken Library of Ostrith lay heavy with secrets, changes began to ripple upon waters once predictable. Fishermen returned with lives that seemed no longer their own. Wives scarcely recognized their husbands. Children echoed with the laughter of strangers from distant lands. The markets buzzed with bartered memories, snatches of lives flitting about like moths to lamplight. And amid this curious upheaval, Lina felt the echoes of that drowned lullaby, stronger, beckoning her toward the Sunken Library. Thus, our tale begins in the heart of Driftrow, amidst the fog and the rumbling anxiety of emanated change. Lina Mareth, with silver hair that seemed to catch the moonlight and eyes like cerulean seas, stood at the river's edge, shoulders squared against the chill breeze. There came to her side Jorik, an archivist as stubborn and unyielding as the tides themselves, a lore wizard devoted to truth at any cost. His ink-stained robes whispered secrets from the texts he studied, and his eyes held the steady glow of someone who had long made peace with the pursuit of hazardous knowledge. Beside him was Pippin Saltfoot, a halfling with a spirit as buoyant as his name. His feet, though small, danced quickly across the decks and jetties, the nimblest of salvage divers, whose knack for uncovering what the currents sought to hide was unmatched. Together, they formed an unusual fellowship, bound for the mysteries that lay submerged beneath the old library's coral arches. Lina resolved quietly within her heart. What haunts me whispers to these waters. It is a song that demands answers. As they ventured deeper into the archives, where animated folios flapped like frantic birds, and the ghosts of forgotten vows lingered in the brine-scented air, it became clear that they were not alone in these depths. Voices surfaced as currents shifted, echoes of lives catalogued by a long-drowned river god. I must know if grief binds these waters, if sorrow bids history live again, Lina thought, as they moved through aisles of living testimony. Books opening themselves to reveal not words, but scenes once lived. Finally, beneath the central dome where coral spikes crowned the ceiling like a cupped hand holding them against the sky, they encountered the heart of the library. A bind-chime rung softly, its tone like a single tear fall, a note held in the balance between time remembered and forgotten. Hold memory or release it. Each path is a sacrifice, Lina lamented, feeling the weight of all choices both past and emerging. The drowned god's whispers filled the chamber, not with anger, but a pleading expression. The choice rested heavily upon them. To reforge the bind-chime, Lina knew, meant risking this god's resurgence, restoring the carefully catalogued memories stretched across time like a great tapestry. To scatter them would leave the river and its people free to move forward, unburdened, ready to weave anew their tales, a sacrifice of identity for possibility, a future unanchored by the past. With Jorik's steady counsel and Pippin's optimistic mischief, Lina stood before the bind-chime, heart storm-bound and mind tempest-tossed. Every storm passes, but some leave marks deeper than the sea, she reflected, reaching for the decision that would shape the tides. The bind-chime's melody faded as Lina Mareth, with a voice of resolve and hands infused with lightning's grace, began to weave her answer. A choice not just of memory, but of renewal. The echoes of the god's sadness softened, and history mingled in currents gentle yet unpredictable. As the tides of Taldren recalibrated, the tranquil lullaby faded from Lina's dreams. A song fulfilled, a storm settled. Would you have held the past more fiercely, or let it slip through an unforeseen tomorrow? Tell us your tales, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to hear more whispered legends beneath the tavern's roof.